All right, this is the Illusion reporting from Spaceship Earth. Wow, I was just watching my friend's video about time travel, and it really put some things into together for me. Cutting my hair was a huge moment of time travel for me, and he likes to talk about the spaceship, and I like to talk about the spaceship too, because that's right where I'm at. The last time I had cut all my hair off was about 2 years ago, and the way I always describe it, and I describe it to a lot of people this way, is I'd crash landed my spaceship into the top of the Santa Monica Mountains, man, and I was living up there without electricity, and I was in a pretty dark place, and I just gotten trapped in the scary dream. And so there I was with my spaceship crashed into the side of the mountain, and I'd cut my hair, right? And I was freshied like this, and these guys I ran into helped me out and got me sober and got my frequencies realigned and got me plugged back into the happy dream, man. And it was cool because when I cut my hair the other day, it was like time travel for me. And I didn't really understand it completely till I just watched these videos. And what had happened was, if I look at my hair like a time strand, if you will, because the way I look at hair, and they can use it for like drug analysis and stuff, and take your hair and put it through a spectrometer and see if you've been using and what you've been using. But also, I figure the hair is like a record of everything you've been through since you started growing it. So there was my hair from the time that I began to fix my spaceship till now that my spaceship's operating at a really good frequency. So for the last 2 years, as I was realigning myself and getting centered and realizing my place in the hologram, that I was creating all of reality, I had to go through all sorts of ebbs and flows of energy. And all of that was contained in my hair, because the hair is like my record, right? So it started out with my spaceship crashed on top of the mountains, and then I got the help, and people started aligning my frequency, and I let go of a lot of my story and a lot of my attachment to the dream. And then other things came along, like the girl I call the hand grenade, that experience for the last year. So within my hair over the last 2 years is me waking up, me changing my whole perspective of my participation in the hologram, me having a bunch of spiritual awakenings, me having changed my whole surfing world, where I no longer was in judgment of the other surfers around me. All sorts of really beautiful surfing experiences, a lot of really cool skateboarding experiences, and yet at the same time, a lot of emotional experiences where I was discovering who I was in the dream. And, with that, I had to, go through a bunch of pretty heavy duty moments of awakening. And so when that happened, all that was in my hair, man. 2 years of life in my hair. And it was like, all of a sudden I knew it was time to break free of that whole story. Because when I began to fix my spaceship, I had no idea where I was going to end up. At that time when my spaceship had crashed, I literally thought my life was over. I was just turned 40, and I thought I was doomed. I thought I was never going to surf again. I thought I was always going to be a drunk. I thought my writing was over. I thought my experiences of life had just plateaued out. And 2 years later, wow, 2 years later, I can't believe how radically my life has changed, how radically I have changed as a being. I went from a human being totally trapped in the hologram, living in the scary dream, to a beam of light that is free of attachments to the dream. Yeah, I attach to the dream and I get messed up, but it was like that whole learning experience was contained in the top of my head. And it was like the minute I shaved off all that stuff and let go of that story, all of a sudden I was even more at one with source energy, because now I could feel the wind blowing across my head. I could feel the sun giving me energy directly from the source, man. And it's like, what a change. And it's like, I never knew I could end up here 2 years later. If you knew where I was spiritually and emotionally 2 years ago, it's a miracle I'm here today talking to you in front of this camera. Like, wow, what an interesting experience. So the minute I let go of my hair, like this is the first time I've let go of my hair in the positive, spiritually awake part of my dream. And so now it's like I'm ready for a whole new journey through time and space. And because I'm not attached to time and space like I used to be, and I'm free to just be in the now, everything has changed. And everything has changed in the most beautiful way. Even to the point of having my fellow beam of light out in Florida explaining the tips of time travel right exactly at the moment I'm ready to begin to re-examine those thoughts, because I've always been very aware and always examined the issues of time and space. But like I said, all those thoughts at a certain point had led me to crash my spaceship because I wasn't aware of the control panels. I wasn't aware of all the dials and knobs in my spaceship, and I was just flying blind, essentially. And so now that I'm flying awake, wow, what a cool thing. And you know, it's really interesting because just by cutting my hair and changing my perceptual form to the characters in my dream, I elicit this whole new response to who I am. Like, I'm not the person I was when I started making this video 8 minutes ago. But people in my dream identified me as a certain way with all the hair because it made me look a certain way. And then I changed it all and they like don't even recognize me. They're like, whoa, I didn't even recognize you. Is everything okay? But these are all people that I've met and experienced since I woke up 2 years ago. So they don't know me before I woke up. So they don't know that this is part of my continual cycling through life. That, yeah, I grow the hair and then I cut it back to this and then I grow it again. And that's just how I do. But it was interesting because I posted a picture of myself up on Facebook, and the people who've known me for decades and decades are like, wow, we've seen that before. Looks like you're getting ready to power up the engines for a new set of adventures. And that's exactly what it is I had to let go of the whole last 2 years of story and get ready for the new chapter. And the new chapter is beautiful, and who knows what's going to happen. But the fact that I'm in this state of being in the now, which is ultimately realizing that time and space is eternal and that those words don't actually describe what it is to be a beam of light, puts everything into such a different perspective. So, it's really cool to be free enough within my own form to let go of my identities. Because the identity that I had established 2 days ago, up until 2 days ago, is way different than the identity I am now. Though me inside is still the same beam of light, now it's just all the characters in my dream have to readjust their interaction with me. So it's like my friend out there was saying about time travel. It's like all of a sudden I let go of like my 2 years of story and everything's different. How people deal with me is different. How the whole world deals with me is different, because I'm dealing with the world totally different, because I don't have a filter on my head blocking me from the air and the sun's rays. I'm no longer putting shampoos into my head. I'm no longer carrying the weight of 2 years on my head. So cool things are to come, and I guess that's the bell saying that this video is done. Thank you.